Fortnite Chapter 6 has been an amazing chapter for Fortnite storyline so far. And although we've only got one season left of it, it's only gonna get way better from here. Because believe it or not, Charlie Wen, who is the replacement for Donald Mustard, is actually kind of resuming Donald Mustard's storyline. And before you comment, no he isn't, he kind of is. And I'ma be explaining why in this video. Because as of right now, we are in the last few weeks of Fortnite Chapter 6 Season 3 Super. And I have stated many times that this season did send the Fortnite storyline into overdrive. But very soon, we are going to be seeing the Fortnite storyline go up a level that we haven't seen in a long time. As it's all gonna tie in together. And again said, I'ma be explaining everything in this video, and please watch until the end, guys. And even if you're not really interested in the Fortnite storyline now, well, trust me, it's gonna get so much better, like so much better. Because again said, it's all gonna tie in together. But yeah, before I get into the video, please like the video and subscribe to my channel for more storyline content like this. And why not join my Fortnite Discord server, the link is down in the description below. But either way, let's put our 7 helmets on and jump straight into this video, as it's finally happening in Fortnite. Okay, so let's go back to Chapter 3 Season 3 Vibin', where a few 7 members were starting to go missing due to some new weird chromy substance appearing around the island. And at the very beginning of Chapter 3 Season 4, this chrome took out the scientist, the origin, and the visitor, leaving the paradigm as the only active 7 member on Reality Zero, until the Fracture live event where we were sent straight into Fortnite Chapter 4, when the paradigm went missing, leaving every single 7 member dormant. However, there was the scientist's personal AI named Amy, who wanted to then find and then free the lost 7. Well, we think she was more keen on locating the scientist, but we don't need to talk about that. Either way, Amy sent fragments of herself to where she thinks the 7 currently are. And the fragments of Amy came back to the island with this to say. And this was when it was revealed that every single 7 member is now in the hands of the Nothing, turning into something darker by the minute. Eventually, after Amy builds her body, she does locate the scientist. But that's the last time we ever hear from her. Meaning that Amy found the scientist. She just couldn't save him. And now she's probably been destroyed by the same things that took out the 7. Which is of course the Nothing, the entity that rules over the last reality and aims for there to be nothing left. And the Nothing will do anything, and I mean anything, to make sure that there will eventually be nothing left. Again said, the Nothing is an entity. We've never seen an actual form of them, and as of now, they are a faceless character. But yeah, the last time Donald Mustard mentioned the 7 was in Chapter 4 Season 2, where he said in an interview that they are just gonna have to find their way back alive again. And just remember that. Fast forward all the way to Chapter 6 Season 1 Demon Hunters, where at the beginning of the season, Epic brought back the OG map in a separate mode, Fortnite OG. And yes, the separate BR mode of Chapter 1 will experience all of the OG seasons and live events again. And this time with remixed OG passes. So yeah, this this was pretty cool. But before we proceed to discuss further about Fortnite OG, we gotta talk about Fortnite Chapter 6. And Chapter 6 Season 1 ended off with Daigo freeing his sister Jade from the Spirit Realm. Daigo is the oldest sibling within the Spirit siblings, which are Daigo, Jade, and Kendo. And their family and bloodline is literally one of the main focuses of Fortnite Chapter 6. As a long time ago, their ancestors started a giant war, known as the Shattering War, as they abused demonic magic by putting it into Fox Clan masks, and this caused a lot of very bad stuff to go on the island. Evil magic was just flowing freely. People were dying because it was so powerful, and the people with the magic masks were practically becoming demons. In the end, though, all traces of evil magic was banished to the Spirit Realm, a place where all demons and Onis lie. And ever since then, the island had been disconnected from the Spirit Realm and other traces of magic. However, that was until a shard of the 0 point landed on the Chapter 6 island at the beginning of Chapter 6, creating a giant shockwave which caused the abandoned Spirit Realm gates to suddenly wake up. As due to this 0 point shard, magic was now flowing through the island once again, which was not good. A few things about Chapter 6 is that it's literally the only island we've ever had that contains a lot of backstory, and is the only island with an official name. Like the Fortnite Chapter 6 island is actually named Oninoshima. Other islands have had code names, but not actual names. So Charlie Wen is really starting to give us lots of backstory and lore behind the islands, and I hope this continues for Fortnite Chapter 7. Also, for the first 3 seasons of Chapter 6, we just thought that the Chapter 6 island was like on a planet, but no, it's actually one of the 2 islands in a reality bubble. Yes, a lot like Reality Zero. So there is a flip side to the Fortnite Chapter 6 island, but as of now, we don't know what it is. Most likely the Chapter 7 island though, of course. But I am a massive fan of Fortnite providing us much more lore for their islands, because what they're doing with Chapter 6 right now is honestly perfect. But yeah, Daigo's ancestors are the ones that caused the Shattering War, and due to his family history, he is obsessed with masks and making them, especially very powerful ones that contain magic. But yeah, Daigo's sibling Jade accidentally falls into the Spirit Realm, and at the end of Chapter 6 Season 1, Daigo frees her, only for her to then say that there is a dark presence inside of the Spirit Realm that currently has the 0 point shard that Hope had been looking for all season, and has a menacing plan to do with Jade's brother, Daigo. You know how Hope was kind of our main character during Chapter 5? Well, yeah, Daigo is kind of our main character in Chapter 6, but there's a bit of a twist with him. He's not necessarily a protagonist. Look, just continue watching this video and I'll explain why. After hearing of this dark presence, Daigo becomes nothing but very intrigued, causing him to literally work with the main villain of Chapter 6 Season 2, who is Fletcher Kane, who was an absolute goated villain, by the way. He had voice lines for like a lot of Season 2.
The next parcel is ready for delivery. See that Daigo receives it promptly.
And so did his henchman.
Sir, they took your car when we weren't looking, and retrieve my stolen vehicle, or I'll retrieve your worthless hides.
basically, Daigo was making masks for Fletcher's henchmen, and in return, Fletcher gives Daigo a lot of equipment and gold. This all helps Daigo repair a shattering war mask that he will wear when confronting the dark presence inside of the spirit realm. And Daigo did actually build a very new gate to the spirit realm. And so overall, he was ready to face this dark presence inside of the spirit realm that wants Daigo. And so eventually, Daigo runs into the spirit realm portal, only for this to then happen. Using a puppeteering mask, the dark presence turned Daigo into a demon, erasing Daigo's mind and now fully being puppeteered by the dark presence itself. Daigo was now known as the Mask Maker. So yeah, Daigo was gone. It's now the Mask Maker. Could we free Daigo though? Well, maybe. Bringing us into this current season, Fortnite Chapter 6, Season 3, Super, where Daigo is now leading a demon army on the island, and is also controlling demon spires and monoliths, which are built to destroy the island's energy, and right now they are doing a very successful job. Now, although the Mask Maker may be the boss around here, the lieutenant of this demon army is actually an old storyline character that Charlie Wen decided to bring back. Core. Yes, Core, the Chapter 2 Season 8 skin. She swore herself to the dark presence and is now the lieutenant of this demon army on the island. So she's kind of like second in command, with first in command of course being the Mask Maker. But behind the scenes, the Mask Maker is just a demon version of Daigo who is being fully controlled by the dark presence inside of the spirit realm. Upon elimination of the Mask Maker, Daigo does actually say to us that the dark presence's force is too strong. So there is still a little bit of Daigo inside of the Mask Maker. Now there are many theories to who the dark presence in the spirit realm could actually be. Maybe like an ancestor of Daigo's, or Asmodeus, the Demon King. Or maybe that the dark presence is the Nothing. Not only has the Nothing been name dropped this chapter, one of the Nothing's greatest skill is taking over someone, turning them into someone more powerful. And we saw this with Bite in Chapter 3 Season 4 when the Nothing was trying to lure them into the last reality.
Your lack of fear is encouraging. Are you willing to give yourself to the unknown? We know your thoughts, how you feel different now, hollow and afraid. But under that is something new, a growing hunger. Will you continue? You feel your identity slipping away. Do not resist. You will be rewarded. To continue past this point is to lose everything you knew and everything you were.
And yeah, that is actually the entity of the Nothing speaking. We have never heard that voice since Chapter 3 Season 4 though. But yeah, just like the Nothing, the dark presence is good at taking over people and turning them into someone more powerful, so they can fight for the person who is currently puppeteering them. You know what I mean? Just like the Nothing, the dark presence is great at taking over people. The dark presence has also also recently been working with the Storm King. Yes, the Storm King, the last reality beast. And this is confirmation that the last reality and the spirit realm are now somewhat tied to each other. So the dark presence being the nothing would honestly make a lot of sense, as right now it does seem like that the dark presence is doing everything to make sure that there is nothing left. But we don't know if the nothing is actually the dark presence. It's just a theory. But what we do know right now is that this season, the 0 point vault is back. Yes, I'm not even joking. And it's going to be used for the 0 point shard once it's collected from the spirit realm. So the 0 point shard can be safely stored inside the vault. And right now, Midas is actually protecting this vault. Honestly, it seems that Charlie Wen is making Midas more of a main character in the Fortnite storyline, which I really like because in my opinion the chapter 6 version of Midas is very badass. Also, you know the spires? Yeah, they're actually powered by cubes, no joke. All of it confirms that the last reality are officially a part of the Fortnite storyline again. Now, back to Fortnite OG. For the first 3 seasons, the exact same things were repeating, like the additions of POIs, the meteor showers in Season 3, but then on the exact same day as Chapter 6 Season 3 dropped, OG Season 4 dropped, which by no surprise gave us remix skins of Omega, Technique, and the Visitor. Yes, our introduction to the 7, the Visitor. And I'm just gonna get straight to the point here. This is our Visitor, the one that we saw get corrupted by the Nothing. And this is what the Nothing turned them into. As you can see here, they are kind of different. But before full corruption, the Visitor must have escaped, finding his way back to where everything started, the Chapter 1 island. So OG is experiencing the same storyline. They're just mixing it up a little bit. Or are they? Because if you head to the Wailing Woods bunker, you will see it flash from the inside. Yes, no joke. And this is actually Morse code, which translates to something is wrong. Now, obviously, this never happened in Fortnite Chapter 1. This is a completely new occurrence, and it must be teasing something. Now, just like in the OG Season 4, the Visitor is building his rocket. Well, by the time I'm recording this, it's already built and is set to blast off on July the 25th, as that's when the blast off live event will happen, which is gonna be the same as the OG blast off event. But is it going to be the exact same? No, because this upcoming re-experience of the blast off live event was leaked, and the sideways rift at the end isn't blue. It's gonna be red, with red rift butterflies flying out of it too. I'm not even joking. So this is pretty different from Fortnite Chapter 1. But why? Why is the rift gonna be red? Well, it's because the Visitor put in different coordinates than last time. And this was teased by Epic Games in a Twitter reply. But where would the Visitor go instead? Well, the Fortnite Chapter 6 reality. Yeah, you heard that right. Fortnite Chapter 6, more specifically the Fortnite Chapter 6 island of Oninoshima. Because where else would he go? Like, he can't go back home to a 7 base, can he? Because no one's gonna be there. And due to Hope seeing the future by her graffiti and then literally graffitiing the rocket blasting off, then it's very most likely that the Visitor will come to the Fortnite Chapter 6 island. It's not 100% confirmed he will do this, but it is very, very likely. Like, come on now, Fortnite Chapter 6 Season 4 and OG Season 5 literally drop on the same day. It has to be linked. And the Visitor coming to the island to help us defeat the Dark Presence would make a lot of sense. Even if the Dark Presence isn't linked to the Nothing at all, well then the other last reality threats are. So there is a huge chance of us helping the visitor find his way back to the Seven and then freeing them. Well, we don't know. We don't know how exactly his role would play out, but I really do think he will appear on the current BR Island next season. And also, the Sideways Rift is gonna be red. Do you know what else is red? The Spirit Realm, which is very much linked to Oninoshima. Also, it was discovered lately that on a pinboard for the storyline quests, there's an image of the Demon Spires in tilted towers? So maybe this is hinting at the Demon Spires probably attacking the OG mode or reload, because there's clearly no tilted towers on the Chapter 6 island. This is really interesting though, but we don't know if this is actually like gonna happen. I mean, there's a chance of it next season, but we don't know. Because next season will of course be a bug invasion themed season. Yes, bugs, and they will come out from this gate underneath Demon's Domain when season 4 begins, probably when the Mask Maker has been defeated in the mini live event a few days prior. But yeah, these bugs are most likely gonna be bugs of the last reality or something like that. Maybe like alien bugs, because the last time we had an invasion on the island, it was all to do with the last reality. And the latest collaboration between the Storm King and the Dark Presence means a lot. So not only the 7 storyline is being continued, but also the last realities, which is amazing. Also, going back to that red rift, it may have something to do with the forgotten red cube. And yeah, there was a red cube. There was one underneath the Chapter 2 Season 8 island, which was probably a glitch. But in the Chapter 3 POI of the Jonesies, there was a mini blue cube, which we have seen before as Blevin, and beside it were 3 dices that represent cubes. Like this purple dice for Kevin, this golden dice for Glevin, the Cube Queen's specific cube, but then there is a red dice, which does kind of hint at the chance of there actually being a red cube. And in the past, a golden or purple butterfly rift has represented its cube. And with the leaked red rift butterflies that will appear in the Blastoff live event, then yeah, maybe there is actually a red cube and we may see it next season. But that is just a theory. Also, going back to Charlie Wen bringing back old storyline characters, well, next season it would make a lot of sense for him to bring back the Herald, with this design that has been sitting in the survey skins for years. So maybe this version of the Herald could be like a commander of the bugs next season. A corrupted version of Dr. Sloan may even appear next season too, as her only other unreleased survey skin has a very bug-like design. And if you don't remember, Sloan's return was teased by Hope in a remix. So out of all times, next season would be the best time to drop these skins, as it would all make sense with both the last reality and the 7 making a full return next season, and for of course the bug invasion theme, so next season really will be wild. But seriously, after almost 3 years, it is finally happening in Fortnite. The 7 are a part of the storyline again, as remember, this is our visitor, who is very likely to play a part in next season's BR storyline. And it's funny that it's right before Fortnite Chapter 7. And really does make me even more think that the Dark Presence is actually the Nothing. So yeah, it's all finally tied in together, with the last reality once again a threat, the 7 being back in the Fortnite storyline, and of course, the Dark Presence shaping up to be one of Fortnite's most greatest villains, as it has been confirmed that he will be relevant in Fortnite Chapter 7. Speaking of Chapter 7, it's pretty likely that we may see Valeria and Stellan, yes, the Rift Warden Stellan, return in next chapter, which is of course Chapter 7, so yeah. This season we had Core return, and next season we will most likely have Sloane and the Herald return, and in Chapter 7, we may even see Stellan return. But as of now, we just gotta give a massive round of applause to Daigo for being the most peakest character this chapter. And his fate will be determined in this season's upcoming mini live event, which will happen about a week after Blastoff. But after 3 years, it is finally happening in Fortnite. Not only has the storyline absolutely peaked once again, the last reality and the 7 are once again relevant within Fortnite's storyline, and other past characters returning to the Fortnite storyline. So Charlie Wen is seriously picking up things from where they were left off, and he's honestly doing a great job at continuing Donald Mustard's storyline. But again said, guys, it's all gonna kick off during next season. Either way, thank you all for watching. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel for more content like this. And why not join my Fortnite Discord server? The link is down in the description below.